Since Ironman Leeds, I've been working with a new coach. The biggest challenge so far is the fact that my week doesn't necessarily look how I expected it to.
Okay, I'm pretty wrecked. So that swim, I did not think was going to go well whatsoever. Yesterday was massive. If from Cardiff City Council or whoever, do something with that building, my legs just feel dead.
I'm pretty knackered. So I'll go into a little bit of why my week doesn't necessarily feel the same and why it feels so different. The difficulty that I've had with knowing whether or not I'm tired in the right way, what the difference is between good fatigue and bad fatigue, and how does this all fit in with my build towards Ironman Arizona.
Okay, I'm pretty wrecked at the moment. Training's going well-ish, I think, maybe. But yeah, it's been quite a tough few days so far. Even Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, big days. So yeah, just trying to recoup myself on a semi-recovery aerobic day, but this swim is actually quite hard. So get it done, and then for the rest of the day, just easy aerobic with a 90-minute run and a 2-hour ride, and then back into some intensity tomorrow.
So my previous week, which I've done for 7 years, is pretty kind of like, well, structured in terms of I know where my body should be throughout the week. I know kind of how I should feel, the sensations. It is kind of the same week in, week out, right? Like, so I know that on Monday I'm going to have a hard bike and a long swim, for example. On Tuesday it's going to be a hard swim, but the rest of the day is pretty aerobic. And just things like that, etc., like throughout the week. And I know that the cadence of the week is going to be similar every single week. I know how to like measure my body and my effort throughout the week and therefore a block. So I know what to expect essentially, whereas now that's not necessarily the case. It's a far less predictable structure. Yes, I'm starting to get my head around it a little bit more, but it's just putting faith into someone else, and I haven't got as much control over the program as I used to because I'm just trusting this new process. But it's just less predictable, and therefore I'm having to be a little bit more adaptable and flexible to it. I think I had a lot of comfort in knowing what's coming up, and I think it's really good for age groupers, for example, because especially if you've got work or you have to do things around your training, then it's good to know what to expect week in, week out, so that mentally you're not having to think about it too much. Whereas it's a little bit more challenging, especially mentally more than anything, to do an unpredictable program.
Don't know how much battery we're going to get here, but thought I'd just go over what I've been up to this morning and where I'm at now. So that swim I did not think was going to go well whatsoever. I was pretty knackered coming in after yesterday because yesterday was massive, as was Monday, as was Tuesday. So I thought I was just going to have to grind through it and just do my best, but I did have to grind through it and just do my best, but it wasn't actually that far off. And it's a little bit difficult as well because we're missing quite a few people from the squad. They're on their breaks or away competing or camps or whatever. So people like Ollie, Michael, Tom, who are unbelievably quick, weren't there. One, to motivate, but two, like if they're just swimming off into the distance, it's easy to feel like you're swimming rubbish. So I actually felt like I was swimming okay today. The times weren't too bad, and yeah, all in all, surprised myself.
The first couple of weeks in particular, I really struggle with like understanding the intensity of the program, mainly because I'm just so used to the intensities that I've been going at. So it's a little bit different in that respect, and just we had to align our thinking, or kind of what we wanted from the session, and our expectations of the session, quite in depth, I guess, because I was used to a certain sort of effort and therefore output, and Rob wanted me to do maybe something slightly different. So it was just aligning those expectations, and that was a little bit challenging, but it's one of those things where you need to know whether you're pushing or backing off, or if you can back off, or something's a little bit more flexible than what it's written, or this, that and the other. So it's just getting our head around it, and that's just normal teething issues.
The session was basically, I did 3.2k of threshold, which is a little bit less than maybe usual, sometimes 4k, but it was broken up into 400s, 300s, 200s and 100s, and I was holding decent pace, like maybe 73, 72 per 100, which is pretty normal for me, short course. So not complaining about that. And now, again, because there's a lack of people, just doing this run on my own. Gaston's retired, so he's now a full-time coach. If you want some coaching, do check him out on Entire's website. World class. Gotten loads of people to the age group world championships and ITU world champions, etc. So definitely check him out. But he was my reliable, trusty run partner for all of these runs after swims. So just plodding my way through this 85-minute run after the swim.
The other thing is fatigue. I know in my previous program when I'm meant to be tired and when I'm not, whereas this program I have no idea when I'm meant to be tired and when I'm not. Not only that, because it's a completely new stimulus, I'm getting used to the change. My body's going through a load of adaptations. So it's just making sure that I'm not pushing it too much. The fatigue is good fatigue and not bad fatigue. And there's understanding what those two things are. And I think me being a professional triathlete, and have been for a long time, I'm pretty in tune with those different types of fatigue. But it's also making sure that Rob knows what I'm going through, Emily can help with that, and just making sure that we're on the same page.
If you're in Cardiff City Council or whoever, do something with that building. It's sick. But this is tough. Just getting through a little trudge of a run on my own. At least the weather's decent, that's all I can say.
I mean, sometimes it's quite frustrating when I'm getting to the end of these sessions, some of them, and I'm not sure whether I'm meant to be grinding to a halt here, which my legs are doing, and that's normal, or whether it's actually meant to be really easy. And I think the first couple of weeks of that was tough, but then there were other sessions which were written and I was like, well, this seems to be really easy, and I'm capable of a lot more than that. So again, it's that alignment of understanding of what we were trying to get out of each session and how it fit into the context of the rest of the week and the whole block, because I've been tired, I have been tired, so it's very rare that I wanted something harder than what's been prescribed, but I just wanted to do it right, I wanted to make sure that I was doing things at the intensities that he wanted me to do them at.
My legs just feel dead, and they have done for about 2 months, but it's good conditioning, and that's kind of what you need for an Ironman, and hopefully will benefit me come the race, and I'll be able to compete and be competitive towards the back end as well. So we'll keep it up.
Okay, cheers. Bye.
Okay, done for the morning. Got some pastries from Tea Melon Bakery, and gonna make my way home now. Probably do a little bit of housework, and then get on the bike for an easy ride this afternoon. Got through the run eventually, but just like I said, a little bit of a plod today. Better than nothing. Another brick in the wall.
So we've had a lot of chats, and it's been really good to have really great communication with Rob, and he's been fantastic for that. So we've really honed in on what we want out of each week and making sure that we're actually executing things as planned. We've even shuffled the template week so that I can do things with the squad sometimes, I can do things on my own, and we're getting what I need to out of the week every single week. It's not necessarily about perfect weeks, it's about just building fitness over time and making sure that I'm listening to the body and arriving at Arizona ready in terms of like I've done the training that needs to be done to execute a good Ironman. And it's one of those where I don't necessarily always need to know when I'm supposed to feel tired. It's just about being adaptable and flexible and just trusting the structure of the training that's being put in. Not to mention the feedback loop and communication. Like if the communication falls through the floor, then I imagine that the training probably would as well. So that's why it's quite good to have good communication, which I massively encourage when I'm coaching entire clients and athletes. I think that it's so important to keep good communication, and even if it's just monitoring sessions, but then also just making sure that you're checking in every now and again, or they're checking in with you and just letting you know on a comment on Training Peaks or something like that, that the session's gone good, the session's gone bad, and you can just hone in on what to expect from them, what they expect from you, and that the intensities are the right sorts of intensities. If you are looking for a coach, we are taking on clients at the moment, so please do get in touch, whether it be through Instagram, email, through the website. Put that down below, and it's first come, first serve. Alright, I just thought I'd do a quick little monologue of my day at the end, because it is the end of the day, and I'm pretty knackered. But no, it's been alright. Had a long period in between swimming, running, and this ride in the evening, so got out about 4:30 after painting a little bit of the shed and some other little bits of life admin and whatnot. So yeah, overall successful day, pleased with that, and pretty much just going to ride home now at the top of Caerphilly Mountain in Cardiff, or Caerphilly, and yeah, it's been a bit of a trudge again, similar to the run this morning, but don't feel terrible, just legs a little bit tired, not energy wise, although did pick up some Haribo on the way around, but yeah, no, it's all good. Looking forward to putting my feet up later and watching some TV, and then it's double threshold day tomorrow on the run. Anyway, one of the big lessons that I've learned is that we all like certainty. Wow, it's some form of certainty, and we probably like we're creatures of habit. We quite like routine and things like that, but at the same time, progress often comes from giving up some of that control and giving it to someone else, and just trusting the process. Don't panic if your week doesn't look as you expect it to. Maybe embrace that fatigue as part of the adaptation. And also it's important to understand those levels of fatigue and what's good fatigue and bad fatigue, because I think that's essential, but work on that with your coach. Anyway, thanks for watching. Just to summarize, I've got a new coach, I've got a new structure within the week. I'm learning to adapt and become a little bit more flexible, which is challenging, but it's good, and hopefully will be really good for my overall Ironman performances. And I'm learning to trust the process, and I'm quite good at that in general. I think I always have been, but yeah, obviously a change is difficult, and I'm trying to be good at just trusting that, and trusting kind of that I've put my faith in this process, in Rob, in his coaching abilities, and I just need to go with it, because I don't have all the answers, and I'm not expecting to have all the answers. Otherwise, maybe I'd be world champion or close to, but I obviously don't, and I'm not. So yeah, it's important to learn off those. It's important to put faith and trust people that have been there, done that to some extent, and have a good time doing it. And yeah, I'm getting used to it in that respect, and I think it'll be really good for me. I honestly believe in what I'm doing, and I have a lot of faith in the process, and that it's going to deliver me. If it's not Arizona, it's not Arizona, but I have faith that it will eventually come through. And I'm not really someone to make massive changes like this that often, so I've done my research. I think I know that is the right decision for me, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results over the next year or so. Yeah, please do follow along on my journey to Arizona and beyond. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.